Hey everybody, it's Julie. Welcome to Hello Monday. Today I'm going to be doing a neutral watercolored card. I know, quite a bit different from my normal bold colors, but it's stunning because the colors are metallic, and you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. And I'm also going to be doing some multicolor heat embossing to create an ombre effect. I'm going to start by prepping the surface of some 140-pound Canson watercolor paper with an anti-static pouch. I always do this when I heat emboss because I have a tendency to end up with stray powder in areas I don't want. So I just like to get a really nice clean embossed effect by prepping the paper surface with that anti-static pouch first. So now I've borrowed the word thanks from a set by Mama Elephant called Heartfelt Thanks. It has a bunch of the word thanks in different languages, but I loved the thick, chunky font. It's not thin and delicate, and I think this nice, thick font is going to show off the multicolor embossing. I'm starting out with the first color. I have 3 different colors of powder. I started off with platinum, and you'll notice I angled the paper so that the excess powder would drift down into a coffee filter, and I flicked off the excess really well, and then I got a clean filter and then applied the second color of embossing powder, which was gold, and both the platinum and gold were by Hero Arts, and I don't know where the copper came from. I bought it years ago, and it's going to take me a long time to use up all that copper embossing powder. Anyway, I had a couple of grains of embossing powder that ended up sticking, and I just flicked those off really quickly with a little tiny brush. And now that I've got all 3 colors applied there, I can go ahead and heat it up and get this really cool metallic ombre effect where it drifts from platinum, gold, and then into copper, and I just love that effect. And then I'm ready to go ahead and start bringing in the flowers. And I'm going to work with the Bohemian Garden stamp set from the Essentials by Ellen Line. I'm inking up with VersaFine in a gray color. I wanted to use gray because I thought black would be too harsh a contrast for this neutral look I was going for. And VersaFine is a faster drying pigment ink that you can actually watercolor with, so it's not going to muddy or bleed out. Unless you've just really gobbed it on there. But if you're just stamping normally, inking up and stamping normally, no problem. You can always heat set it very quickly with your heat gun if you find you kind of got excessive with your inking, but I rarely have any problems with that. And then I'm going to start with 3 larger flowers and come in with graduatingly smaller images, filling in those spaces until I have it all nicely rounded out, and the tiny flower was the last one that I used, just to kind of fill in those gaps. And the Fine Tech watercolors that I'm using are metallic. They've got mica in them, and they're gorgeous. And shortly after I got these, Kudetake Zig came out with their own Ganzai Tombi starry colors, and they work exactly the same as the Fine Tech do. And they just have square-shaped containers that hold the variation of colors, and they're gorgeous, shimmery, metallic watercolors that have mica in them. And my oh my, I mean, you're just not going to believe how stunning they are, and I wish I could have captured it on film when I was taking the pictures. I had a heck of a time trying to show you what they really look like. Um, so definitely you will be amazed at how rich the colors are. I started out with a wash of color, kind of like I normally would with watercolor, and then I decided, you know what, I want the paint strokes to show up more intense, and I want more intense metallic color. So I kind of dabbed off the water on the tip of my brush so that I had a drier brush, a little bit drier brush nib. It's still wet, but it's not as wet, so I don't have a puddle of water that's ending up on the watercolor paper. So this allowed me to intensify the colors. And then when I came in with the silver, I mean, these colors are like champagne-y colored. I mean, I don't know the names of them, but they're so gorgeous. They're kind of gold and coppery and champagne-y and silvery. And the silver actually shows up kind of pale, but then as it dries, it gets more intense. But one thing that's really cool about these watercolors, if you do dilute them down with more water, you can paint over other items that you've watercolored in other watercolors, different colors, and you can give them metallic highlights. So that's one thing also to be aware of. So you can use them pale and washed out, or you can intensify them. So it gives you a lot of options for using them, and I just love them. They're so stunning, and I thought this card turned out so cool, even though it's neutral. And hopefully I've got a few shots that give you an idea of what they look like in real life. All the supplies are available at ellenhutson.com, and you can see more still shots and further details at the Classroom blog. Thanks for watching.